Okay, in this class we will see how object oriented programming works in C++. Okay, so let's start. Project, and project is, for example, 222. Okay, and this is console application. Okay, this is dev C++. Okay, now 122 say, and we should use using namespace std. Okay, and the first object oriented property is encapsulation. Encapsulation means hide the data. Okay, we have class A. Okay, we have class A. In the class A we have a private member integer A. Okay, and we have a function, public function. This is void set A. Okay, now A is equal to 10. To get the A, we have integer get A, and we have return A. Okay, so when we write the object of A, obj, and we call obj dot set A. Okay, set A function, then we will call cout obj dot get A. Okay, this is get A and set A. So there is no direct access. This is private member. We access using interface. Okay, we set using interface set A, and we get using interface get A. Okay, this interface get A. Right? Let's see what is the output. So output is 10. Okay, output is 10 via interface. This is called encapsulation. Okay, next property is we have inheritance. We have class A, this class A, we should remove this. Okay, this data member. We have class A, and we have a function, a new function, public function, that is void and display function. Okay, and this will cout inside display. Now we have another class B, and colon means inherit class A publicly, not private but publicly A. Okay, now this class has public member, public function, void print. Okay, void print, cout inside new line, inside print function. Okay, so we should remove this. We make object of B. Okay, B obj object, and obj dot display. it will display the parent class. This is the object is of child class. Okay, B is child class, and it is calling, the object is calling display, which is the function of parent class. Okay, now object is calling its own print function. Okay, now let's see the output. Okay, there is a problem. This is semicolon. Class ends with the semicolon. Okay, so you see, inside display and inside print function. This is the output. Okay, so it inherits the functions and public functions and data members of parent class. This is called inheritance, simple inheritance. If we have another class, class C, and in it inherits it, we have to declare it after this. Okay, class C, and we have public D. Okay, so this is called multi-level, not multiple but multi-level inheritance. Okay, we have a public function void print C. Okay, and we have cout, new line, and inside print C. Okay, now we call the object here. We remove this. Okay, and we make the object of C obj C obj dot print C. Okay, now let's obj dot print C and obj dot print Okay, these two functions. Print is class B function. Let's see. Okay, we should stop this and already compiling. Semicolon after compiling, right? So we should compile it. So you see this inside print C and inside print function. Inside print C and inside print function. This is calling. Okay. Now if we call function from class A, then function from class A, that is display, obj dot display. Okay, obj dot display. Okay, now I compile this. Okay, you see, inside display. So inside print C, inside print, and inside display. These are the three classes, three functions. All three functions are called by the object of C, third class. So this is multi-level inheritance. Multi-level inheritance. What is multiple inheritance? Multiple inheritance is if I remove this. Okay, if I remove this and I put here public A, then what will be the output? Let's see. Okay, same output. Okay, inside print C, inside print, inside display. But this time we are using multiple inheritance. This is multiple inheritance, not multi-level, but multiple means multiple classes are inherited. This is class C has two parents. This is multiple parents. Okay, and it can access the public functions of the both the parents. Okay, this is multiple inheritance. And if there are levels A, B, B inherits A and C inherits B, this is multi-level, right? So what is then polymorphism? This is inheritance, and now we have polymorphism. Polymorphism. What is polymorphism? Display, okay, display A, this is A, okay. Now we have the same version here inside the child class, display, and we have B, display B, and we have same version here display C, display C, display, and here we write display C. Okay, so these are different versions. Okay, we inherit here public B and public A, and the functions are same. Let's member of print. Okay, now this is the error that there is no display. Obj dot display. What should obj dot display? This is the function obj dot display, right? Now we should close all other. Okay, obj dot display. So this time obj will display its own function, display. Okay, its own function. So display has, there are three displays, but obj will display its own version. So this version or this function, this individual function is called polymorphism. That every class has different behaviors with the same object, different behavior. Okay, so let's see. If you call display, okay, inside this display C, right? Now okay, it can there was display here, but its own version is this display. It will display its own version. Okay, so just like we have mouse, this is now pointing here. If we write, cursor changes, and if we go here, it is pointer. So object changes itself according to the environment. So when object changes itself, calls the function according to environment, then it will be called. For example, this is display is, for example, print function. So whether it is dot matrix, whether it is inkjet, whether it is laser printer, okay, when you go to file and print, it will print. it will print the page. Okay, so this is polymorphism. Okay, this is polymorphism. So we can achieve the pure polymorphism using pure virtual functions. Okay, virtual functions we will study in pointers, how virtual functions work. So virtual functions overriding, right? Override the child class, override in the child class, the parent class function. Okay, we will do that in the next class. Okay, thank you. Okay, in this lesson we will show you how you can use files in C++, right? So you include fstream for input and output. Okay, fstream using namespace std. Okay, now what you do is you write ofstream. Okay, first we will create a file, then we will read that file. Okay, ofstream file1, and we should call this file, this should be on the C drive. Okay, on the C drive, and we have my file dot text. Okay, my file dot text. Let's create my file 100 dot text. Okay, this is the file we should open and write. To open it and write file1 and less than, and you should write, for example, this is text for file, for the file. Okay, this is text for the file, my file 100. Okay, password is 1234. Okay, and we should close the file, one dot close. This is important. Okay, we should close it, and we should put this all inside try catch block. Okay, try catch block. Let's run this project. This is main. Okay, file1 was not declared in this code. ofstream was not declared in this code. So if I use it fstream, then okay, this is ofstream. Okay, ofstream. Then the file has been created. Now let's find the file, my file 100. Okay, .txt. Okay, this is my file 100.txt. You see, this is my file 100.txt. This is the text for the file, my file 100, password is 1234. So the file has been opened, and where it is written, let's see, my file 100, and it is written in documents, in the documents. if we open the documents, in the documents, and you see my file 100, this is my file 100, right? If you double click it, this is text for file, my file 100, and password. This is written here. Now we read this file. Okay, read this file. How to read this file? We declare a string. And this is text, string text, and if stream to read it, file 1, okay, my file 100.txt, so it will read the text. We should go for while here, after this, while get line, okay, it will read line by line, okay, get line, file 1, and it is inside text, put the line inside txt variable, string variable, okay. So we should see out less than sign and txt, okay. Let's see what is the output. No matching function called to get line. Get line is basic is string, string size, it is get line, let's see, conflicting in the declaration file 1. Okay, let's close this and now run this. This is get line, okay, and okay, you see this is now I have read that file. This is the text for file, my file 100, and password is 1234, okay, on DOS window, on console window, okay. So this file, if I change this file to 101, okay, right, and I change this text to password to 1234567, and this is my file 100 1234, okay. Now run this. Okay, again we have to remove this. Now if I run this, okay, we have to write 101, that was 101, okay. So we should write OS string and OS string. We should remove this and remove this line, right? Remove this line. Now we compile it. Okay. Now we should remove these lines. Okay, and enable these lines. So you see, this is, I have read this file. Okay. So this is how you declare the files, and there is a try catch block. Okay. Try catch block. What is the try catch block? Let's see. We should put the exceptional cases in try catch block. Try integer a, integer 10 divided by 0. Okay. Try, and we have catch, we have try and catch, try catch, see out, here is error, here is division by 0 error.